Hi there, welcome back. We are now on lesson 11, and I think I'm getting my lesson numbers right, I hope. um, we're on numbers 9 and 10. So let's go ahead and get started. Nine of Swords. This conflict, now remember, we had the the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords, remember, there was the swords, and there was a little opening, and she was still bound in chains or rope, whatever, and her eyes were still covered, with a cloth. So that's meaning that there is a way out, but she's still trying to figure it out. So with the Nine of Swords here, it's like this conflict is really starting to cause anxiety and keeping this person awake at night, having a difficulty of sleeping. She's trying to find, there may be, she's seeing that there is some sort of way out, but she's still trying to figure it out. And it's still keeping her up at night. So that's that. The Wands, the Nine of Wands is, you can see where he is on this desert land, or it looks like a desert, very little growth on it, and he is, got that one last wand. He is still plugging away. He's still working. This card, the 9 indicates that you're really getting close to the end, because the next card is the 10, which indicates the end of the situation. So this card is telling me that, they're still working. They're wanting to manifest. They're waiting to see the fruits of their labor, and they're still working. This is telling you don't give up. Just, you're almost at the finish line. I guess that's the best way to put it with this card is, whatever the situation may be, whatever you're working on, you've shed a lot of blood, sweat, and tears over it, but don't give up, because you're getting ready to reap the rewards. There's getting ready to be an end to it. So the Nine of Cups, this work that the work that you've endured was not as easy as you may have once thought. Remember, Cups is about healing emotions, spiritual things. And let me tell you, when you're trying to heal your emotions and rise up above spiritually, that can take years. But you have made it through the toughest part, and now you're beginning to look to the new future, manifesting a new life for yourself once the healing has been completed. So I see he is just sitting on his throne, taking in all the cups of healing. There's promise. And there's promise that whatever it was that was holding you down emotionally, you've gotten clarity, and it's almost over. You're almost there. Keep working. Then we have a Nine of Pentacles. Again, money. You are now beginning to reap in what you have sown. So you're starting to see some growth. You're almost at the finish line. Keep going, because you know it's going to get much better. She's walking the fields. She's worked really hard, and it's, again, blood, sweat, and tears. It has not been easy. And yes, there were times when she felt like she wanted to give up, but she's almost at the finish line. And so keep hanging in there. She's getting advice from the raven, as you can see, or I don't know if that's a crow or a raven. I always think it's a raven. But she's getting advice that, she's on the right path. Don't give up. It's not time to give up. So, because it's almost there. You're almost there. So, I have a cousin who is going through a really difficult time right now. Um, her husband passed away a couple of years ago, and she had a house, and she also had a condo. She decided she didn't want to sell the house. They were living in the house when he had passed away. It's a really, really nice house. Oh my God, it's a nice house. And so she moved into the condo. She had the condo completely redone before she moved into it. She lived in the condo for a year and decided she wanted to move back to the house. And actually, the people that she rented the house to, they were the ones that broke the contract. They were supposed to rent for a year, and they went in and broke the contract. So she decided that, you know what, I'm just going to move back in the house. It's time. But she took out this huge loan from the bank to have work done to the house. I mean, she completely, pretty much has regutted, redoing all the floors, and there's nothing in the house. I went in there yesterday, and like all these wires are hanging out of the walls. There's not a thing in the house. And it's very, very stressful for her. But when I walked in there, I could see, that the job is almost finished. It's not going to be long, maybe another month, possibly 2 months before she can move back into the house. And I'm actually doing a house cleansing for her tomorrow, a spiritual cleansing for her in the house, because there's been some difficulties and contractors and things like that. And yeah, it's really stressed her out, but she's on her way. It's going to get better. So now we're on to 10, the number 10. What does that mean? 10 of Swords, 10 of Cups. Now remember, again, 10 is you are at the finish line. And so when we see the 10 of Swords, that to me tells me that it looks like, I think of Humpty Dumpty. But you see the big brick wall, and Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall and, broke into all kinds of pieces. And the swords are stabbing him. But when I see this card, it's telling me that you're getting ready to get put back together. I mean, it's whatever this conflict is, whatever the hurt, the pain, you're finally mending, and it's finally going to be over. The chapter of this healing process, or this conflict, is over so that you can move on. That's what this card means. So then we have the 10 of Cups. And I really like this card, but in a lot of cards, and it's not in this one, but in a lot of cards, you see a happy couple, and behind them is like a little boy or a little girl maybe that's turned their back. You see lots of clarity here in the sky. Cups is emotions and healing. And they are like the king and queen. What do you think of the king and queen? They're in total control of their lives. They have everything. They've mastered everything. So, the queen is all about nurturing. There's feminine and male energy that person has. Both of those energies within that person has been emotionally healing. The healing is being filled. The cups are being filled with lots of healing in that chapter of the emotional pain this person went through is on its way, and that chapter is almost over. Healing has taken place. It's like going in for surgery, and maybe this person had to have like emotional surgery, so to speak. And like if you have, like, say, heart surgery, it may take you months, a couple of years even, to finally recuperate. And you kind of think of this card like that, finally at the end, recuperating from whatever emotional surgery you needed to have. Pentacles, your ship has arrived, and you come into the money you have been waiting for and are working so hard for. Also, when I see, no, I'm sorry. We're not on Pentacles. Forgive me. We're on Wands. we're on Wands. So Wands, you have been doing most of the work on your own. Okay, so again, Wands is about work, and it's like you've been plugging away and plugging away at doing whatever it is, whatever work, you've been doing it on your own. And it's been really hard. You know, think about like a single mom who has been struggling raising her children all by herself. And, you know, she's wondering, is this ever going to end? Am I ever going to get any help? And so when you see the 9, it's like, yeah, help is on the way. You're not going to have to carry the load all by yourself. There have been times when you felt like you were alone, and this card indicates that help is on its way. You're not going to feel like you're doing everything on your own anymore. See, I mean, you can see the, I guess this is a groundhog, or looks like a groundhog. But anyway, they're carrying the load, the fruits of the labor. They're carrying it, and the wands, of course, represents work. But they've been carrying the load all by themselves for a really long time. And so when you see this card being upright, it's telling you that it's almost over. You're not going to have to carry the load all by yourself anymore. There is help to help you through all the work you've been doing. So it's a good, I like that card. I mean, it's a good card, indicating that this person who is just really tired, and they know they have to keep going, they are going to be getting help soon. Pentacles. Your ship has arrived, and you have come into the money you have been waiting for and have been working so hard for. Happy home, happy home. Yeah, I mean, now you're getting to the point where you can finally rest. You've been, I think of like Steve Jobs, who spent years and years working on the computers, you know, making it just right. And I mean, I'm sure that, you know, he did a little work and then he had to tweak it. Remember, we were talking about like all the tweaking that you had to do, like in the cards 6 and 7. There's been a lot of tweaking you've had to do. You've had to go back to the beginning, back to the roots where you first started, and maybe you needed to tweak it a little bit. And it's just been a lot of work. And, you know, you're waiting for that big paycheck to come in, and you don't know when it's going to happen. But when you get to the 10 of Pentacles, honey, it has happened. You have reaped in what all the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears, it has finally paid off. So when I finish my book and get it on the bestsellers list, I'll be having the 10 of Pentacles. So yeah, very, very happy home. And what's interesting about this card is you see the ancestors. So, you know, there's going to be another chapter coming. And I feel like, in a way, this is kind of not a warning, but giving you some caution to be mindful and tapping in with your elders and getting advice from them as you move forward. So that's another way of looking at this card as well. But everything is happy. So this wasn't as long as a video as I thought it was going to be. But anyway, that is 9 and 10. And next we're going to go on to the suits. Not the suits, but the royalty suits. The kings and queens, page and pentacles, and what those mean to all the suits. So we'll get to that next week. If you have any questions, concerns, or whatever, need to know something else, please don't hesitate to text me or email me, leave me a message, and I will get back to you right away. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you again. Bye-bye.